Gimme Bowl presents Top 15 Secrets in Watch Dogs 2. Ubisoft's Watch Dogs 2 may not be setting the sales charts on fire, but it's still a fairly enjoyable open-world romp that's chock full of secrets to discover. The typical Ubisoft references and callbacks to the first game are present, but what other Easter eggs lay waiting to be discovered in San Francisco? Let's outline some of them for you here. Aiden Pearce. During the side operation Shadows, you'll actually have the chance to save Aiden Pearce, the first game's protagonist, from a troublesome situation. After hacking into a closed-circuit camera and causing a distraction, you help Pearce escape from a jail cell and effectively ham back and forth with your comrades about his legendary status. It's a nice little nod to the first game, without having to deal with how annoying Pearce actually is. Osiris. There is a bevy of secrets tied to one single side operation, but it's pretty easy to spot. First, listen in on what seems to be a Ubisoft employee at Stanford University. He's discussing leaks that have occurred with Unity, Syndicate, and something called Osiris. It's safe to assume that this is related to Assassin's Creed Empire. This is the rumored next title in the series that's reportedly set in Egypt. Talk about Ubisoft stoking the flames of rumors. Ubisoft Office. However, that's not all. Next, you're tasked with hacking into a Ubisoft office to learn more. That means actually heading to the office in question, which is appropriately decked out in Ubisoft paraphernalia. It wouldn't be the first time a Ubisoft office appeared in-game. The Division had one such office, and we saw posters for Grow Home and For Honor, among other things. But the biggest takeaway is when you get to the roof. New sci-fi game? Hack into the terminal on the roof, and you'll view what seems to be a teaser that originated at E3. This teaser showcases spaceships and stations with a Western-sounding background score. Could it be Ubisoft hinting at its next big title, or is it just a teaser created specifically to mess with Watch Dogs 2 players? You would think it's a lot of effort just for the sake of trolling, so we'll go with it actually being real. Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. Would it be a Ubisoft title without some kind of reference to Far Cry? This one is rather tame though. Simply walk around in one key hideout and head downstairs. There, you'll encounter an arcade cabinet for Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. Unfortunately, you can't actually play the game. The good news is that it's available for free to Uplay users. With Watch Dogs 2 releasing late on PC, now's as good a time as any to experience this awesome FPS. Eagle Flight. In the same basement of the hideout containing the Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon cabinet, there's a VR headset and twin monitors that showcase a VR title. That's Eagle Flight, the recently released VR title for Oculus Rift, PlayStation VR, and HTC Vive that sees players controlling eagles and fulfilling different objectives, all in first person and from a VR perspective. The game has received surprisingly good reviews. Maybe that's why DedSec appreciates it? Assassin's Creed Movie. Here's something else to notice when you discover the Ubisoft office. When you look at it from the outside, you'll see a poster for Assassin's Creed. However, this isn't for the game, but for the upcoming movie starring Michael Fassbender. With the movie releasing on December 14th in Hollywood, this does seem like a good way to shamelessly promote it. The Division. At one point in the game, when viewing personal computers with the logo HOM Electronics Incorporated, you can zoom in on the desktop and faintly make out some icons. One desktop is interesting because it showcases a familiar-looking winged eagle icon set against black. That's the same icon for Tom Clancy's The Division, another Ubisoft-published title that takes place in post-apocalyptic Manhattan. Now, how hilarious would it be if this were the same universe and everything was just peachy in San Francisco? Zombie 2. In one side operation called Infected Bytes, you'll be tasked with tracking down a malware source called Zombie 2. This is either referencing the recent Zombie, which released as Zombie U for the Wii U, and then later for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Jurassic Park. At what point in the game you'll discover a rather innocuous jeep located behind a barbed wire fence. Using your drone with the enhanced jumper perk, you can unlock the gate and claim the jeep, which is actually the 4x4 from the first Jurassic Park film. Even better is the fact that it actually has a screeching dinosaur for its horn, which both shakes the screen and scares nearby NPCs away. Is it cheesy? Sure. Have you seen Watch Dogs 2? Rainbow Six Siege. During the side operation Bad Publicity, you'll be dealing with a SWATer. That is someone who calls the SWAT team on other people, particularly in multiplayer games. Hack into the camera monitoring the man's room and you'll notice that he's playing Rainbow Six Siege on his desktop. The multiplayer FPS has been one of Ubisoft's better multiplayer titles in recent memory, and it recently received a new update with Operation Red Crow. And naturally during this mission there's some sweet justice in seeing the SWATer get swatted. Diablo 2. In the beginning of the game, during an infiltration, you'll hear Sitara talk about no one coming this far, calling it the Secret Cow level. This references the Secret Cow level from Diablo 2, which was quite the doozy to unlock. In Diablo 3, it's far easier to find as you sacrifice a particular weapon to Kanai's cube and simply walk in, battling hordes upon hordes of evil bovines. Pawn Shop. Want to see more or less every single Ubisoft game ever made? Head on over to the pawn shop and use your gyrocopter to zoom in on the various game cases. You'll see Splinter Cell, Assassin's Creed, Far Cry 2, and so on, along with some vinyls and OSTs for games. Interestingly enough, one particular set of OSTs appears to be similar to the same set that T-Bone had in the first Watch Dogs. That's a nice bit of continuity for you. The 10 Gnomes. Everyone has always wanted to don a gnome outfit while hacking giant corporations and battling police, right? Obviously. But how do you obtain said costume in Watch Dogs 2? Well, you'll need to collect 10 garden gnomes scattered throughout the city. A separate guide is needed to find each gnome, but you can actually find a neat little map in-game to find all of them. That's by discovering the first gnome underneath a building in Fisherman's Wharf and peering at the laptop in front of it. Pac-Man. Last but not least, when tasked with infiltrating a smart house owned by Hom in Hom Sweet Hom, you'll have to use your drone to disable traps and face security robots with names like Inky, Pinky, Blinky, and Clyde. This is a reference to Namco's Pac-Man series, wherein you control a yellow sentient dot eater attempting to navigate a maze while avoiding ghosts. The security bots in Watch Dogs 2 share the same names as these ghosts, essentially.
And that wraps it up. What are your thoughts about this? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and share it on Twitter and Facebook. And why not consider subscribing? We upload some really cool videos almost every day. Thank you for watching this video, and happy gaming!